We all know at this point California is long overdue for the big one. We've talked about the San Andreas Fault and a lot of other earth changes and things happening in California. We have a new study now that has been released yesterday that is stating a certain area that goes from basically the bay in San Diego all the way to Seal Beach in Orange County, and that also cuts through the Los Angeles basin, could produce a 7.3 to 7.4 quake in this region, and it's pretty long overdue. Now, what they're saying here with this new info is that previously, when they looked at the Newport-Inglewood and the Rose Canyon systems, these two different systems, they thought that they were separate. But they conclude now that they're actually part of the same continuous formation of faults that run underwater from San Diego Bay to Seal Beach. Now, they're saying that that in itself poses a significant hazard because now that they know that these faults are interlocked, action from one can trigger the other. And what they've done is they've ran this all the way out into the ocean. And they say that at no point is this any further than 4 miles from San Diego, even when it's offshore out in the ocean. So it's that close. And they're saying that there's small sections that basically are not cracked up. They're not part of the fault. They're just solid land pieces. But they're saying that they're not large enough to stop a huge shift, that those pieces of earth would literally just rip apart if there was a big quake. Now, the fault's most recent major rupture occurred back in 1933. That was in Long Beach. It produced a magnitude 6.4 quake, and that killed 115 people. Now, like I said, there's a lot of talk of the San Andreas and other fault lines that run through California, but this one, they're saying, could produce a significant quake, and this puts the San Diego, Los Angeles, and even Tijuana areas in the crosshair here. They're saying that there have been, throughout this segment of fault, 3 to 5 ruptures in the past 11,000 years on the northern section. And in the southern section, there was one about 400 years ago. So in terms of expecting the next quake, like I said, overdue in many other areas. We've talked about the New Madrid. It's overdue. These other areas overdue across the globe. But California, prone to seeing these earthquake swarms, all the faults down there. And if you go over to the quake map, any given day, you can see that California here in the U.S. has more quakes than any state on the daily, on the average. That's going, and you can see where these swarms are coming from, too. They're coming from this exact same region that they're warning about, that's cutting through the Los Angeles basin here, down in here towards San Diego, and Mexicali. And I've talked about the Salton Sea, the recent swarms that we've seen, how there's a fault that runs right into here in dead ends, and then another one picks up, and what that leaves is another small section of earth that's not connecting the fault line like they were talking about, that they say could just be ripped in two if the whole thing was to give. But some new information there in terms of Cali earthquakes. More information here at the link that you guys can read up on. Wanted to make note of it, and hope anyone out there in earthquake country that hears my voice has a plan, especially for a quake. I'll leave a link. It's been Dabu 7. Peace.